Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. Today we are in 1 Timothy chapter 6. I'm going to read verses 6 through 8. Before I do, I got to make a quick confession. Seriously, I lied to you yesterday. I told you that our next book is going to be Nehemiah. I was wrong about that. Our actual next book is Malachi. I'm excited about this one because it's a short Old Testament book, the last one of the Old Testament, and it has an incredible perspective from God the Father to us as Father, as men, as sons as well. I think it's going to rock your world. So get ready for a great book in the Old Testament that'll be next, right after we finish chapter 6 here, 1 Timothy. But the text today reads, but godliness with contentment is great gain. This is very important. For we brought nothing into this world, and we cannot take anything out of the world, but we have food and clothing, so basic necessities. With these, we will be content. So the point that Paul is making here is essential, I believe, for every believer, especially for those young in the faith or new believers, because if we misunderstand what Paul is saying here, we will misunderstand godly motivation. We will get it wrong. And that is always what God is worried about. Even from the beginning of time, he was worried about one thing, our motivations and our intentions and our desires that were completely out of whack. And the primary challenge with living a godly life is that it does have gain. It has gain. That's the word here. It, in other words, reaps a benefit. And the gains are spiritual. The gain we discover in our relationship with God is God and the gain of his godliness. But sometimes the virtue of his godliness demonstrated in our lives is going to have personal gains or popularity gains or profit gains. It will. But if we interpret this as the main gain or get distracted by the lesser gains here, our motivation is going to get all out of alignment. Because guess what? Godliness doesn't always have a personal gain, a popularity gain, or a profit gain. Sometimes godliness has a persecution gain. It does. Jesus promised that. So you know what we have to do? We have to monitor the motivation behind our gains. That's what we have to do. We have to monitor the motivation behind our gains. And the way we monitor it is found in one word in this text. It's the word contentment. Contentment is the barometer for monitoring our gains. That's what it does. It works like a barometer. Contentment is also the regulator for training our gains. It's a regulator that trains our gains. And this leads me to a single question for you today. Is there an area of your life where you need contentment? That'll expose it all. So name it, that area, monitor it, and then train those gains with contentment. And then remember, the only gain you need is Jesus, and he has already gained it all for you. So you really don't have to gain anything. He did all the work. Isn't that nice? It's so great. It's so relieving. If we could just train our gains, right? Train our gains. I love you guys. I pray this blesses you. I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.